Oh, hello, folks. This is called Michelob Ultra. I better pour it in here. Some of you don't think I drink, so I'm pouring orange juice in. Come on, get out of there. This is orange juice. Michelob Ultra. Now, here's why I am talking about it tonight. Only for a few minutes. They call it a sissy beer. Yeah, I went into a restaurant and asked for it. They said, "You sissy?" No, I said, I'm Jim Dandy. Some people call me Slick Jimmy. They said, "You're Sissy Jimmy." So, well, you must have known me in another life. They say you're drinking a sissy beer. Ultra, Michelob Ultra. Well, I guess this will be the last beer I drink. I was trying to lose weight. This is only 95 calories. I just did a YouTuber a few minutes ago. Against the Grain. I was drinking Against the Grain, and if you're a beer drinker and you're not going to stop, get Against the Grain. Against the Grain, made in Louisville, Kentucky, where I was born. 7% alcohol, but listen to this. It said on the internet 12 ounces equals 260 calories. So are you on a diet? If you're not, have at it. That is something real important to talk about tonight. I've already shared some old men's thoughts, and I still drive. I still have my log for flying an airplane, but I don't take physicals or for the license, and I don't fly. Ain't that rich yet. Do you know, if you think about flying, count the cost. That's all I'm going to say. Count the cost from the cost of the first lesson to buying the material to read to pass a written exam, to doing a solo without crashing your Cessna airplane. I almost crashed mine. That's when I stopped. Oh, I was about 2 feet away from the ground. Only 2 feet, and I'd crash. I wouldn't be talking to you today, would I? Maybe in an afterlife. I don't know. No, I'm not supposed to talk to you in the afterlife. Jesus told us, do not communicate if you're alive and watching. Do not communicate with dead people. Don't try to communicate with dead people. I don't care if they were your wife or husband, mother or father. Don't communicate with someone dead. It's a hard pill to swallow because you want to. You want to talk to them. You want to ask them how it is up there. It's not allowed. Don't try it. Don't try it. It's not in the Ten Commandments, but don't try it. The Bible says not to. Now, having covered that, I gave up airplanes. My gosh, I gave up a lot. I'm to the age now where I want to know what I want to be when I grow up. When I was younger, this is a brief talk about when I became famous and lost it all and never became famous again. My name's Jim Wortham. The reason I say that is you want proof that I was once famous. Look it up on Amazon.com and you'll see a lot of books that were published by me that are on the aftermarket. They're used. People are selling them for all sorts of prices. I thought I was going to be a millionaire. And I could have been if I hadn't given up. And why did I give up? Well, I make up a story. I gave up because life got in my way. Life got in my way. That's why I gave up. I had to work because the books weren't bringing in money fast enough. Okay. So I put it on pause. Like you pause something, stop it, and never went back. Oh, about 5 years ago, I put out 4 books. You'll see them on Amazon or BarnesandNoble.com and probably Books A Million. I'll give you the titles. Well, here's one right now. The Summer of Love. That was the first one. Summer of Love. Do I have any more here? Oh, come on. Well, the second one was The Spring of Love. The third one was The Autumn of Love. And the fourth one was The Winter of Love. Beautiful covers. You'll see them on Amazon if you go to them. Don't buy them from Amazon unless you're a Prime member, because the postage will be free. They're about $9.99. But the thing is, if you really want them, check my Facebook out first. See if you like the poems that's on it. And I have some samples on there. And if you like them, come back on here. And no, don't come on here. Come on my website. And say you want them for about half price. And I'll order them. Because, see, books have a high markup. So I can order them. I tell you what doesn't what has a high markup is postage. I used to sell books with postage costing between a quarter and 50 cents, and now the same book costs $3.50 to send. Whether it's 2 or 3 books, it's still $3.60, $3.50 or so, because it goes per pound. If it's book rate, also called media rate. So if anybody's interested, you can leave a note down here, and hopefully to God I will read it, because I'm not too good about keeping up every day, but usually the next day or the day after I'll read and respond, and then all of a sudden my mind will go dizzy because I'm thinking about other things to say to you. And if I'm talking to you, I'm not reading what you've done several days ago, and you may, unfortunately, be a while before you hear from me, or you may need to send me another email. Email's jimwortham123@gmail.com. That's my name, followed by 123@gmail.com. Now, half the time I do read my emails. I'm getting better about it. I have stored on the email, I think 3,000 now. And I do a quick run through every week or so, sometimes every day, to see if a person wrote to me or if they're trying to sell me something. Do you know what I mean when someone calls you on the phone or sends you an email or text and tries to sell you something? That's the end of that one. So, will I be able to make a living from writing again? I worry about that at night when I think I might die. I'm 76 and I wonder, should I start writing again? I don't think I want to write about my college days, my high school days, my loving days, where I fell in love, fell out of love, all that stuff. I don't think that's where I'm at, and I don't think that's where my listeners, if I have any, I don't think that's where they're at. I think they're more interested in life as it is now. Relationships as they are now. What people say to me when they come up to me in a sports bar and say, "Is it okay if I join you and have a seat?" I think that's, you want to hear that if I write books. What did they say to me when they sat down? And why did they sit down and say, "Can I join you? Are you expecting anyone?" Yes. And then there's the religious side. That's struggle. Should I only write about my Christian beliefs and my hope of going to heaven, my expectation of going to heaven. And if I do that, should I leave out what I just said about the girl joining me at my table in the sports bar? Decisions, decisions, decisions. And how much money do I need to live on? Do I have enough now? Do I need to double what I have now if I want to live to be 10 or 20 years older? What do I need to do about money? Here's something to think about. With my very first book in 1969, it was called When Twilight Begins. I don't even think you can find it anywhere on the wireless internet. Published or printed, had printed, it's a 32-page book, had printed 1,000 copies. What I couldn't sell in the bookstores, I went door to door, knocking on the doors on the weekends, asking if they'd like to have an autographed copy of a book I wrote. Now, I will tell you something. I would almost give you $1,000 if you found another person that ever did that. But I won't. I don't have $1,000 in my hand. But I went door to door. $1. Autographed copy. They'd invite me in. Watch wrestling with us. Watch TV with us. Well, yeah, of course I will. I think we're going to buy 3 copies. Do you have 5? I've got 5 friends that might like what you write. But I say, but you haven't read it. They said, no, but you're going to autograph them, aren't you? Yeah, I'm going to autograph them. Well, hell, bring 10 copies in. And autograph them, I'll give you a $10 bill. Oh. Starting to sound good. Should I stay here longer? Okay, are we going back to that now? Should I do that now? If I do, should I sell the books for $1? Autographed? Especially if they're costing me $5 to have printed, and I'm selling them to whoever writes to me for about $5 plus postage. When bookstores are selling them for $10, $9.99. I hate the 99. I told the publisher, knock it down to 95. That's what books used to sell for. Always 95 at the end. $9.95, $2.95, $3.95, things like that. But not 99. Don't play me for a joke and say, oh, we're using psychological warfare. We think by upping it from ending in 95 cents, we're going to up it to 99 cents, and we're just going to make a fortune with those extra few pennies. So I told the publisher, and I haven't checked to see if they've done it yet, change it to $9.95. He said, Jim, you're not even selling them at the proper price. Your price should be $12.95 to $14.90. No, $12.99 to $14.99. I said, get rid of the 99 cents. People aren't stupid. They know you're pulling a psycho trick on them, because you didn't go up 1 penny. You didn't make the $14.99 $15. You didn't make the $9.99 $10. I said, people aren't that stupid anymore. Just keep it the way it used to be in the very beginning. End it with 95 cents. Oh, I'm ranting and raving, aren't I? I was a publisher. I was going to say I should have been a publisher. Love Street Books. Love Street Books. Sold 100,000 under that label. Switched it. People thought it was I can't say it. They thought it was a company that's, because it was Love Street Books, they thought it was Red Letter District book, where women turn the red lights on. So here I get all these letters, tons of letters. Are you operating some type of questionable red light district publishing company? Are you running it out of the red light district? Are you involved with that? Yeah. So I changed it to Marathon Books. We'll change it through R.R. Balker and Company. R.R. Balker's the one with the ISBN numbers. So ISBN. Every ISBN that relates to my books, that when I change publishing company names. The next publishing company name is called Marathon Books. You'll love this one. I'm selling all these books on converting cars to run on alcohol and electricity. Yeah. Look at Forget the Gas Pumps, Make Your Own Fuel. You'll have to look into Jim Wortham, but Forget the Gas Pumps, Make Your Own Fuel. That's one of mine. If you want it, write me a letter, and I don't know what they're selling them for, but don't write me a letter. Write me an email or text me here, or the email address I gave you, jimwortham123@gmail.com. But anyhow, because you might get it for $4, $5, $6. If I can keep the post office from raising the prices. Okay, now, autographed. Sold so many of those nationwide and overseas. Why? Because I think Bush was the president, older Bush, and can't be sure about that. Gas prices not only went through the roof, but they were thinking about restricting how much gasoline you could buy. for a car. They had a name for that, but you were going to be allowed so much each week. Gasoline. That never happened, by the way. Paul Harvey, I sent him a press release, and he read it on his national radio station, Paul Harvey, and there must have been 1,000 people call whatever radio station he broadcasted from, wanting to know my phone number. And I come home and my wife says, "What in the world were you on Paul Harvey for?" I said, "I wasn't on Paul Harvey. I sent him just a one-page news release. The news release is information about anything. In this case, about me converting my car to alcohol. Everybody wanted the book. Need I say more? Because I don't want to waste your time on that one. The thing is, it pumped up my ego for a little bit. So that was a revival of the first 12,000 I sold of it. And then I wrote cookbooks. I published cookbooks by other people, sold them, made half a fortune, never became really a millionaire. And like I said, life gets in the way. You spend money on things you shouldn't. I was buying a new car every year or two. I didn't care the fact that the interest was going up on them. I didn't even ask what the interest was, because the salesman knew me. He says, "Don't worry about the interest. We'll just add it on to the new car price, to your payments on your new price." So about 6 Thunderbirds and the like. I started off with a Pinto. I started off with a Escort, Ford Escort. I started off with I'm thinking I had several Thunderbirds. Elite was the last one. It was like a Thunderbird, but it didn't have the Thunderbird name. So that's when life got in the way, and the bankruptcy court came after me. I didn't know I was not making enough money to pay for a house or apartment, for the car, for food, for dates. I didn't even pay attention to any of that. And that was out of my realm of expertise. What do they say? I wasn't trained for that. Well, I got trained when they took the car. What bank was it? Liberty National Bank took the car, and that's as far as we'll go on that one. Okay. We'll talk about one other item. 2002. when we had a crash. Do you remember 2002 if you're my age? 2001, 2, no, I'm sorry, that's COVID. Uh, 2002. We're talking about the last Great Recession, as they called it. The Great Recession. 2008, so 8 and 9. And I was in my business when it collapsed. A counseling business and a alcohol and drug treatment center, financed only by me. 2000, I think it was 2008 and 9, and I had no money after I paid all the bills. I paid all the bills. Didn't go bankrupt. Paid all the bills. Now you're saying, what happened next? Did you live in the street? Well, almost. Almost lived in the street, but didn't. I borrowed money. Try borrowing money when you're $120,000 in debt, paying off your business debts because you help people get off drugs and alcohol. See what that feels like when you think you're going to be sleeping on the streets within a week. 2008 and 9, I believe it was. Check it out. And I borrowed money. You did. Who was stupid enough to loan me money? Well, I helped a lot of people. They said I helped them. So they loaned me some money. And I went to Ameritrade. Ameritrade is a brokerage firm. They charge, what was it, $7 to buy a stock, or to buy stocks, depending on what group. It was the same price. So I could buy 200 shares or one share, and it was going to be $7. To sell it cost the same amount. One share, $7. 200 shares, same price. So I started borrowing money and started buying every stock I could that was less than $1. And a lot of them were less than $1. I just throw Ford out because you know Ford. It was $1 back then. Ford was $1. Not that it's much better now. It's not. It's 12. I think it's $12 now. All they know how to do is make 150 model trucks. They close most of their car dealer cars down except for Mustang. Then they thought they were going to go into electric cars real big, so they decided to buy some property in another state. What they didn't know was electric cars weren't going to sell fast. So they keep their price down to $10 or $12. So I just mentioned that because everybody's heard of Ford. But how about Harley Davidson? I bought it on the cheap. Now I think that's the only one I bought for $3. Check on the price now on Harley Davidson. they switched their symbol, stock symbol, from HD for Harley Davidson, switched it to HOG. They switched it to HOG so people could remember it, and so that Home Depot could have HD. So I built what I have now from that standpoint of borrowing money and buying stocks that were less than $1 that I recognized. Well, within 2 years, bought a house, paid for the house. I had a house, but making big payments, paid for the house. Said no one's going to take the house from me again, or ever, rather. And from then on, I've tried my hand back in publishing. Like I said, I put out four of my books about 5 years ago. During that time, I closed my counseling center down, but so many people had my calling card. I opened it back up on the cheap. When I say on the cheap, for $200 a month for rent, no secretary. And then as I got older, and some of you will also get older, I promise you, you will also get older, I decided it's time to close down, not because people thought I was old, but people weren't, they'd keep a doctor's appointment, but they wouldn't keep a therapist appointment. So here a day goes by without any appointments, and that was booked solid. But I'm paying for rent, I do have $5 million worth of, but don't sue me, $5 million at this moment of liability insurance, personal liability, malpractice, if you want to call it that. I've never been sued. I mention that because if somebody comes along that needs help, I'll help them, and I'm covered if something weird happens and I get sued. Also, I keep my licenses. I've got 5 mental health licenses, school psychology, clinical social worker, marriage and family, psychology, and what's the other one? Let's say marriage and family. Anyhow, that should cover it. So the one insurance policy covers them all. It'll cover them all. And but guess what? Had my phone number removed. Nobody calls. If you look me up on healthgrades.com, that's healthgrades.com, you'll see me in living color. You'll see 15 5-star reviews, and you'll see comments from people. I need to check on it again, be sure they haven't deleted it. So if someone calls up, I can do phone counseling, I can do this, not this, but Skype or Google video, or I help people and don't charge them. most of the time, unless it's more than 2 times. If it's more than 2 times and they need to go in a treatment or something like this, we may talk about paying me a penny or two. Okay, I think I spilled my guts to you. Like I said, I'm what I am. I am what I am, and I'm not what I'm not. And I roll like this, and I have no script. So, if you like this, you want more of it, there's things you can punch that says you want to subscribe, or you like it, or you hate it, or get this guy off. You can do any of that. And this is the first day I've been back on for weeks, because I have about 5 computers, and it seemed like they all went out just about the same day. And this is the first time I've been on since then. So if you think I only have 2 videos, check again. I got over 200 and something. And why am I whining and going on? I don't know. But I want to send God's blessings to you. I'm going to wish you health. I'm going to wish you everything good. And I'm going to invite you to visit me again if you like my style. God bless you now. May God bless you real good and your family. And we'll talk later.